đợi sẵn cái bụi cỏ
như cũ.
Bụi cỏ chặt ba ở đường dưới. Optimus là người ra đặt quả cầu để xem tầm nhìn, anh ta đứng ít sau lưng cái hang rồng, tránh tầm nhìn đối phương khi đi qua rừng. Fnatic thì lần này thì là họ đã không qua, họ rất bình tĩnh.
Làm sao qua được? Qua bằng cách nào? Với cấp 1 của họ yếu hơn rất nhiều so với trận trước họ có con Cho'Gath. Và tôi nghĩ 100% họ cũng biết rằng Gam đang đứng ở cái bụi cỏ đó, bởi vì đứng đúng cái cách mà hồi nãy Fnatic đã bắt bài gigabyte. Nhưng vấn đề là cấp 1 của họ hiện tại rất là yếu. Tôi cũng không thấy một cách nào mà đội hình này của cấp 1 của Fnatic lại có thể đi qua rừng đối phương cả. Không lẽ bằng Elise bạn nâng cán nhện trước, lắc nó về rừng bằng cái gì? Thì chúng ta sẽ không bị xâm lăng ở trong pha này. Chỉ là Fnatic có dám qua rừng nửa trên của Gigabyte Marine để cắm mắt hay không mà thôi. Tạm thời bây giờ thì chưa. Roxa và Soat không tiến vào rừng của Gigabyte Marine. Mới chỉ có chúng ta cắm mắt ở bụi cỏ chặt ba ở nửa dưới bản đồ, một con mắt phòng ngự. Và Levi sẽ khởi đầu bùa đỏ.
Có một cú nháy ngay vị trí đứng của Rosa. Đó là cú nháy khi mà bạn biết rằng đối phương đã cắm con mắt. Bạn thấy một tiếng động ở khu vực gần đó, bạn biết được con mắt cắm thì biết được người đứng đó, nhưng khoan đã Aichi đang đứng một góc rất khó cho anh ta.
Mất máu nhiều. Tôi không nghĩ nằm xuống đâu, nhưng sẽ mất máu nhiều.
Và tốn một khoảng thời gian khá đó Aichi là khu vườn trên. Và bây giờ điều quan trọng nhất là anh ta chưa tình huống vừa rồi, anh ta đang đánh thường một cái và con quái để có thể hồi được điểm máu nhỏ. Một điều khá là tốt dành cho Aichi. Để rồi bây giờ là khu vườn trên. Điểm khó cho anh ta là hiện tại anh ta đang đứng sau lưng được lính sẽ bị mất kinh nghiệm một xíu. Aichi khi đỡ đầu với là Soat chấp nhận.
Đây là một kèo mà tôi nghĩ là Aichi phải đánh ở cái thế mà gọi vui vui thôi nha, là phải cực kỳ hèn. Bạn không lên cao được, bạn lên cao bạn bị đối phương kéo máu rồi đột nhiên mà Elise xuất hiện và cú cán nhện thành công là chắc chắn bạn sẽ bị hạ gục thôi. Nên Aichi phải đánh rất thụ động ở trong khoảng thời gian ban đầu này. Còn Levi thì từ bùa đỏ anh ta chạy thẳng sang bùa xanh, ăn 2 bùa. Không biết có ý định lên đường trên sớm hay không. Không, quẹo qua bãi cốc.
Cần lấy level 3, cần cấp độ 3 sẽ dễ dàng hơn. Cũng phải cần đợi cho Aichi có được cấp độ khu vườn trên đã. Lính thì này lính đang đẩy vào trụ của Soat. Ta đang cố gắng giải quyết được lính để vừa tấn công vào Aichi. Nhưng nhìn vào lính thì không phải là quá lỗ cho Aichi nha. 6 so với là 9 mà thôi, khoảng cách chỉ là 3. Bạn nhìn thật ra khoảng cách đến 10 vẫn là khoảng cách mình chấp nhận được và không có mắt của Soat. Đấy là một điều. Na khổng lồ, tuyệt vời quá.
Ôm lại tốc biến đã được dùng rồi và anh ta đang bị tấn công, nhưng liệu chúng ta có đủ sát thương hay không? Anh ta đang bị làm choáng và ta sẽ phải nằm xuống chiến góc đầu cho Levi.
Cách đáp trả rất là tuyệt vời, cách đáp trả tuyệt vời như cách mà ván đấu trước khi Fnatic chiến thắng trước Gigabyte Marine. Rosa cắm trại khu vườn trên cánh đúng thời điểm khi cấp độ 2 của Soat và ta biết Na khổng lồ. Trước đó ta nâng W.
Tuyệt chiêu. Đợi dịch chuyển lên găng. Đang muốn được áp dụng nhưng Soat rất tỉnh. Né.
Levi tỉnh hơn, Levi cắm mắt và đứng né. Levi đứng
rồi
né và cắm mắt, không có tốc biến của Soat nhưng anh ta đứng rất xa nha. Aichi có tốc biến cho
không được
của mình.
Không được. Anh ta vẫn còn tốc biến. Làm gì đây? Đây là Soat đang bị làm chậm, đây là Soat bị làm choáng và đây là Soat bị cắm trại. Anh ta nhảy ngược về, anh ta đang cố gắng thoát, một phát đánh thương nữa thôi. Và đó là Levi với điểm hạ gục thứ 2.
Bây giờ cả hai người cùng đẩy vào thì ở khu vườn trên này là một lợi thế khổng lồ về mặt kinh nghiệm và lượng tiền được dành cho Gigabyte Marine.
Đánh luôn,
nhưng khoan đã
xuất hiện hoành tráng không trúng, đối phương đã đánh đu lên
2 đấu 2
và bắn luôn vào Rosa, kén nhện trúng, nhưng chúng ta đang ở khá xa trụ, no way, mất máu nhiều. Anh ta phải cực kỳ cẩn trọng. Dịch chuyển. Đây là cú dịch chuyển để ngăn chặn băng trụ.
Mà đổi đường chứ. Hay chỉ là
lại
phòng ngự mà thôi, vì dịch chuyển khu vườn trên vai chi xuống đây nhận kinh nghiệm về.
Levi is the player who will look for the creative ganks. His pathing into the advanced brush to ward off just a single ward, answering his return gank in top, was also of the mindset of a ganker. And Broxa has the lowest kill participation before today of any player in the tournament. So he has struggled to have anywhere near the impact that, of course, Levi has.
Yeah, and looking at the bottom lane as well, this is a lane that Broxa should be looking to snowball around. Reckless and Jessis have had perma-shove in this lane. Lulu as well as Sivir does outshove the Rakan and the Trist, and when they were shoved in as well, that's when Noe and Sia went for Broxa down to that bottom lane, so that CS lead has exploded.
Smart ward coming through, and on your screen you can see that Reckless has definitely had some good times on the Sivir. Has been a legacy pick for him, even though a lot of other regions were looking past the Sivir pick for most of summer.
Yeah, and when we said it was a perplexing pick in Champ Select, it was just because we didn't expect it to be banned, so they could have gotten something for them.
Oh, Broxa looking to burst down Saya, but not enough just yet. 3v3, but a little too low already. Reckless might flash in for the kill, but Saya battle dances away.
Definitely at the point in the game where you can be pretty brazen with face checks when you have this many kills on a Sejuani. So his presence is what warded off there being any counter kills, as we see Optimus roaming down as well.
Yeah, But look at this turret. It's extremely low. That's why Optimus is down here. But Reckless and Jesses are just going to keep shoving in as long as they have Broxah there for the support.
Pop back there by SOAS, gets out from under the sapling that Archie put into the brush, but you can see with the early lead playing confidently here in the top lane, and Optimus the same, very completely even on CS versus Caps, and he's had a great landing phase just on his own. It really has been split map attention as far as these two very heavy ganking junglers go.
This bigger lead and a 7-minute turret is not a trivial factor in solo queue in Korea. Doran's Ring Sivir is actually pretty common. Doran's Ring Jhin and Doran's Ring Sivir to allow this sort of push, but double ranged has done so much work in bot lane that with Relic Shield, they take a turret at less than 7 minutes.
Yeah, absolute destruction of that bottom lane by Reckless and Jesses, and they played that lane so extremely well in such an impressive moment. And this entire run by Fnatic has been insane. Listening to Caps talk at the start of the day and how beaten he sounded when talking about, well, maybe I don't really think we deserve to get out. But after they, I feel like, won that game against Immortals with the comeback win to the Nexus kill before their team full wipe, those wins could be cathartic. And they completely changed the mentality after that game. They've really been a new team.
And what did we see from Fnatic? There was so much action around the top side. The bot side said, hey, we're definitely not getting ganked. This guy's getting camped top side. Let's get advantages bot side. And we couldn't really say that about a lot of Fnatic's play in most of the games last week. Seeing that today is another good sign, because at least they're getting wins somewhere rather than wins nowhere.
Yeah, 30 CS lead for Reckless as it continues to build up, and Fnatic already hot swapping there to the top side. Why not? You have a strong pushing lane already with the Sivir and Lulu. Gets us out of that lane. I mean, 1v2 is not much worse than the situation he's already been in, and Fnatic are looking to tear down these turrets.
Yeah, it's going to be much harder to push into Archie right now because he does have the Ninja Tabi, but the pressure is there. The early deaths from SOAS are mostly forgotten by and large because he hasn't lost his turret. His gold is actually not that far behind Archie. It's 300 in a Maokai versus Gnar matchup. That's negligible. The question will be whether or not Gigabyte Marines can get onto Reckless, and that's going to be the question for the rest of the game at this point, as he's looking like the early front runner to have most of Fnatic's
It was
gold.
something like 1,200 gold behind for No Way on the Tristana as well, who will have to slowly cobble together something.
Yeah, 1,100 at 9 minutes.
Yeah, almost 40 CS behind as well. There's No Way trying something. They do see the control ward. Levi did not stick around, so gonna know that something's up. Fnatic instantly back away from the potential 3v3, but Broxah is also in the area if needed. So this swap from Fnatic going very well.
And we have to again return to pick and ban. Okay, there's been 2 kills, and we see Reckless getting ahead. Outscale is still a game plan for Gigabyte Marines. So having 2 kills, having the Sejuani, never get invaded by Elise, get a free jungling phase, and then some with bonus gold is still, if we look back at more traditional days, because today has been atypical, and then some in terms of the meta, or maybe it's the evolution of the first week meta. But by first week meta standards, Gigabyte Marines can still hold their head high. They still have great options as the game goes on.
So that gold lead for Fnatic is actually in the hands of Reckless, like we mentioned, but SOA's about to go mega, getting hunted down by Optimus, but yep,
He's sneaky.
don't see him, and SOA chills out, has a bit of a chuckle in the brush, and just gonna be patient.
And by seeing Orianna down bottom side, Fnatic is now even more emboldened to continue to shove top.
Well, Broxah actually might find a pick here, level 5 for the Rakan versus 7 of Broxah, and Archie could be even more trouble. Ninja Tabi are good. See what Source of Spades can do, but again, all action here on the Fnatic bot lane, as almost always. Just gonna shove down this turret, zoning off the dual lane completely, nothing Gam can do.
They're not even level 6 on the Rakan right now, plus they don't have the people there to follow Broxah. They're not necessarily getting their defense in the right places to deal with this pushing bot lane. These objectives are coming very fast for Fnatic.
I feel like the game time is almost crept up on us. Only 10 minutes into the game, yet a lot of advantages being added on for the side of Fnatic, who are in the role of aggressor this game. And again, I said it earlier, I'll say it again here, it's good to see the team that has the momentum, that's trying to play proactive, find these leads. Today, scaling hasn't worked as reliably, so they'll feel good about where they are, but only when they take the outer mid lane turret do I think they'll pay off their draft and really feel good, especially if it's pre-15 minutes.
That's the big one. 2,000 gold means a little bit now, but it will mean a lot more when they can open up that mid lane, get the 3,000 to 5,000 gold lead, and potentially overpower Gigabyte Marines in team fights. Because yes, Reckless is ahead right now, but Essence Reaver versus BF Sword in a full-on 5v5 when you're talking about Sejuani, Maokai, and Orianna is a lot less of an advantage.
Reckless just trying to continue pushing his advantage there in the top side. And Levi, we saw those two great ganks to start things off for himself and Archie in the top lane, but has been well spotted by Fnatic in a lot of their wards here. So certainly playing with a bit more respect as Broxah going to get tagged. Could get chain stunned here, but a great Cocoon might save him. Flashes in. Rappel down, can't make it to that Raptor, but Cap is going to save it now. Reckless actually moving in with the ultimate. Levi a little too far. He's going to dodge the next turn. Needs to keep going out of the way. Blast point's over. Into Genesis waiting. Arms Cap lets the ultimate go. Oh no, Saya. Defensive quickness doesn't find it. Oh. Shockwave adding insult to injury as well.
A great escape, I feel like, from Levi sidestepping the stun from Caps and then making a mistake, but then two blown ultimates that did not need to be used from the Rakan as well as Optimus's Orianna, so that's a big loss of pressure, and Fnatic's just going to rinse and repeat, keep shoving in these lanes.
Well, why wouldn't you? Fnatic, everything really being handed to them in this early game since the action in top side, so they're going to get locked out. Oh, goodbye. Makes it back safely. I knew he was the whole time.
We have a cheeky giggle getting to lane faster. They have almost complete control when it comes to the river on top side of the map, so the Heralds will basically be free for them if they want to try to fight back for this sort of control on this side. Marines will have to invest Levi's time. He's the only base checker at the moment, doesn't have to worry about dying, so for now at least, playing with pretty shallow vision, ends up just growing the CS and experience advantage.
Oh, the poor blue buff CC'd forever. Caps does get it as they take the Rift Child and steal the blue out of Gam's jungle. Fnatic just playing so actively on this map, and Gam just kind of sitting back and saying, all right, if we have to scale, I guess we scale, because very passive play from an otherwise aggressive team.
Yeah, and the things Fnatic are doing are things they're very comfortable doing. This is how you play, and this is how they like to play during the regular season. You get a bottom lane who has a CS advantage and can apply pressure. You cycle your jungler down there. You take a turret. You swap to the top side. You take the Rift Herald. Use that to break mid. That's the script for running these strategies, and Gigabyte Marines has opted into the same game style, but they're not playing the same game. They're not meeting Fnatic at these spots, and they're getting a little bit run over right now.
It's a bit surreal, but the assignment right now for Levi is take the two camps closest to mid and make sure they don't outnumber and take the mid lane turret. The turret HP and Levi's job are intrinsically linked right now. That's the only way that Fnatic can really accelerate the pace of the game that they want to at kind of their own behest, and that's why Levi is largely just pathing around mid. Cheeky blue buff steal, though, is quintessential Levi.
Broxah, though, again, heralded up. Is going to try and maybe get that happening soon. Roam over. Optimus is going to take the blue buff, so mid laners will both get it. As we look again down to up to the top lane side for Soaz. Black Cleaver done, so maybe his side lane pressure could also affect it as Optimus trying to make a play.
And looking at Levi right now, he's taking Wolves on the other side. He's not in position to stop this Rift Herald push.
Well, 4 members here for Fnatic, so it can tip in if he wants, but he's tying up Archie. The siege very
Might
successful.
go for a fight here, even after the turret dies.
Well, there's the ulti up from Reckless. Optimus had the ball placed, but everybody just dissipates from the center of the map.
And I feel like that's a misuse of the Sejuani. I mentioned what his job was, kind of disrespected it, but they might look for a kill on the back end.
Oh, still rooted up, but Soaz has his splash. Optimus very, very late, but the dive is incoming. Levi is here. Soaz gonna try and magic his way out of this one, but no luck. Optimus grabs it.
They do get the kill, but can they even get the minion wave to the turret? The third kill on Soaz with a lack of pressure. The waves continue to collapse down for the side of Gigabyte Marines.
With this comp, a single kill for mid lane turret is a mistake. It is not a trade up, it is a trade down. Fnatic are more than happy. Soaz had no interest in trying to flash. A pretty easily flashable ultimate, because his flash will be used aggressively when he hits Gnar in the next particular team fight. So honestly, Gigabyte Marines need to continue to have a strong spine because they drafted into being the defensive team and then tried to play aggressive with Levi.
Well, Fnatic still climbing up in the gold, 2,000 ahead still with 0 kills on the board, as Soaz and Archie are doing battle.
Yeah, just watching this one more time. It was an extended trade. Soaz did use his Gnar early, but once the mid lane turret goes down, it is really hard to escape a Maokai, as we can see Fnatic taking that Mountain Drake while this replay is happening. They just chased on. They knew Fnatic would probably be recalling after that mid lane turret, get the slow. Yes, Soaz potentially could have flashed, but he still would have been run down by Archie and Levi.
Better to hold the summoner, and they'll take the Drake off the back of it all. So business as usual for Fnatic, given how they've been the last 3 games. Insane to think they could potentially go 0-4 into 4-0.
Oh, another kill here potentially. Cap's actually going to grab his first. No, not yet as Archie. I think maybe immune the ult with his W, but still so whacking away, and Caps does grab it.
tables have turned for Archie. The other guys have more people this time, and there's still no pressure on the other side of the map because that was a play made by Fnatic while their waves were pushed, so they can essentially make it cost-free.
Good catch by Pastry Time. He did manage to W through the damage, but his death was guaranteed and all of that. Look at Reckless' stats just in this game. Domination in the Sivir lane has certainly been achieved, and still no real confirmation that it's all worth it for Gigabyte Marine.
Yeah, I mean, you look at this overall gold lead for Fnatic, and it's 2.8 thousand, and then you look at just the bottom lane for Fnatic. It's 1.6 thousand for Reckless and 1.2 thousand for Jessis. That's 3,000 gold. That's the lead, is their bottom lane right now.
You're not supposed to smash lane, and of course not in kills, but in terms of CS with Relic Shield, it's the bonus for both of them, plus the turret gold on the multiple turrets they've been involved in. So gold standard achieved for Fnatic, and still a waiting game for Gigabyte Marine.
And kind of continuing a very inverse situation we've had today. Fnatic might win a game shutting GAM out of objectives, which I don't know if it's ever happened. Finally, they have a kill on the board. Caps was able to collect the last one, but it is always odd to be behind in kills but ahead in objectives. But Fnatic have played a very calculated game to get to this point, as Levi will grab the Scuttle Crab there.
There is a bit of a meme for Sivir games called the 500 CS win condition, where Sivir gets 500 CS. That generally means Sivir is max items. Against double frontline, you're just ricochet critting all the way to the backline, and it's a very strong strategy. We're already 2/5 of the way there, and Gigabyte Marines hasn't gotten close to turning on yet. Reckless has had some of the best CS per minute of any player at the World Championship, the highest coming into today. So Fnatic will be fairly confident with what was that early pick Sivir in the draft after they had seen the enemy bottom lane.
And Sivir in the Ardent Sensor meta, remember that the support is another squishy that will not be buying armor for the majority of the game. So those ricochets are hurting 3 members intensely as the game goes on, and not much mitigation will be found through armor from either the Orianna, the Tristana, or the Rakan.
Fnatic still weaving very effortlessly across the left side of this map. So as in a 1v2 right now, so he respectfully backs away. Gamma completely backs up against it. Broxer gets tagged by a good chunk of damage from Optimus, but pressure is happening in 2 lanes, and so is he's happy to absorb in the bot lane.
And those are the little things that Gigabyte Marines need a lot more of. Anything to disrupt this cycle that Fnatic is running, because they have played this game so many times, you need to be able to delay it with poke like that.
You have to wonder, do they have to start opting into multiple scrying orbs? Because getting Baron Vision has been impossible for them for the last couple of minutes. Sure, it's going to spawn in 30 seconds, but right now, actually pushing forward on the map, outside of what we see on the bot side, has been very difficult for them. And the Baron will be another headache short.
Soaz is making them fight for this turret as well. Gets some damage down, but no way. Should have enough to finish it up. Meanwhile, Reckless chasing after Optimus. Shockwave, not good. Reckless with a great spell shield as the stun from Caps was only just a bit short.
Second one that is just barely missed to the left or the right, thanks to sidesteps or Caps moving it a little bit. If they get that pick, they potentially do move for that Baron since they already had the Mountain Drake, but Optimus escapes using both summoner spells. Caps ended up flashing as well.
That's an objective trade up for the Gigabyte Marines. First good news story for them in a long time. We're seeing action, I think, in 2 lanes.
So it's up and away. There could be the combo. Not going to go for the dive. Actually, they will. No way. Goes in for it, but he can't follow after a great flash from Soaz.
A lot of turret shots being taken by No Way and Seha right there. So they do get some pressure down bottom lane by forcing the flash, but they run a lot themselves.
Yeah, Levi's ult was used in the mid lane as well.
Got the cleanse out of Caps.
Double summoners from Caps, so that's pretty good on that particular side. So a lot of action, relentless aggression in 2 lanes for the Marines, but no ability to grow it bigger. Gold lead also, it's contracting. Only 1,700 gold at 20.
Yeah, and also if we were to find the game that would be most similar to this one so far at the group stage for Fnatic, it would actually be their week 1 game against Immortals.
Yep.
Where Reckless was really fed, he had a dominant laning phase, but Fnatic as a team wasn't able to make that many plays, and eventually it came down to one big mistake. As this gold lead is still marginal, it hasn't increased in percentage, it has stayed pretty much 2,000 to 3,000 for the past 10 minutes. That fear creeps into your head. Fnatic has playmakers this time. They have the Syndra and the Elise. In order to make it to the quarterfinals, those are the guys that are most likely need to make some plays, because Reckless can't do everything on Syndra.
Optimus is going for second item looted, so wants some power of his own in the mid game. Stop there being more of a trough. This was a replay what happened around the mid side while we were focused on bot lane. So still investing in some mid-game. They know they're going to be comfortable at 4 to 5 items, but hey, just that little bit more power early certainly will go far for Optimus.
And Fnatic needs to play as a team right here, which is what they are doing around Baron right now. The more control they can get with Vision, the higher the likelihood they land a Cocoon and use that Mountain Drake to get a large team advantage.
Well, game is getting closer as Gam taking that turret, prevent the shutout of objectives, and again continue to kind of move people around the important sections of the map. Reckless still scaling, but Gam will be happy to sort of tie the game at just 2,000 gold, given that we're now 22 minutes through. Fnatic, however, are looking to make it perfect on Drake as they move towards the mountain that's now spawning.
I think Gigabyte Marines will do fine by just opting into gold right now by taking the outer top lane turret. Looking for a fight here. Honestly, the easiest way for Gigabyte Marines to be bowled over is the face check and Elise Cocoon. Syndra and Elise damage, just deletion on most of their members. Lock it or no. Spectre's Cal or no. So for now, give up the Drakes, take the immediate gold, and keep things tight.
Yeah, and Gigabyte Marines are getting something back here. When Fnatic was posturing for Baron Vision the first time, No Way took the first outer tier turret. When Fnatic goes for the second Mountain Drake, they get the top outer turret. And if they get a tier 2 here, they very nearly did. They would have nearly equalized the goal, but this is where Fnatic is looking to make their play.
TP from Soa is going to try and make it happen. Now Levi going to turn back around. TP also in from Gam as Levi. Maybe he just catches Soa's Archie, trying to make something happen. Oh my god, what a busted shot! Kicks Soaz out of the fight. Reckless also popped his ulti and Gam walk away. Scott free his ulti.
Re-engage maybe.
Tries, goes back in. The ulti finds Reckless. No way. Immediately goes in on him. But Soaz still fighting here. A good 3-man stun from Caps. With Soaz, he goes down and Gam come alive.
Gigabyte Marines, teamfight fundamentals were awesome there. Caps will most likely just lead to the disengage. Levi going forward when they saw the teleport came in. Zoned away multiple members. It'll be best seen on the replay, but his instinct to move forward stopped it being a collapse from Fnatic, and they just turned on Soaz, who was caught alone.
Reckless has no flash.
Oh my goodness, the knockup does land in. Not enough spell shield. Stun lands through and the support grabs him.
And if we're talking about team fight fundamentals in the mid game, tank play reigns supreme. If you're in front of your damage dealers, you win the fight, especially when one team has the tanks and the other has burst and flank. Soaz couldn't get in for the flank. The first time, Broxah was never able to find effectiveness as he was the one who was initially targeted, so Gigabyte Marines win the fight in multiple ways.
And the gold lead's basically absent now, less than 1,000 gold without scale. Nothing is decided for those last couple of moments. The smart team fight calls are great news for the side of Gigabyte Marines. So this all starts off with them giving up, trying to take this turret, realize they couldn't do it. Watch the teleport and where it's channeled here and Levi's decision making.
And then look at the spacing as well. Lulu and Syndra are really far behind the play. Levi moves forward to buy some space, and then here, No Way, boom, prevents the Mega Gnar immediately.
That one moment basically means that Sivir ultimate will lead to nothing, but Archie, he's only thinking of re-engage.
Yeah, well, Syndra also walks over a ward in the jungle, so Gigabyte Marines know they have a numbers advantage and can freely engage. They hardly get touched in this play. Reckless realizes the fight has gone astray and flashes out.
We won't talk about the Sejuani ultimate, but we will talk about Sejuani sticking topside and then eliminating Reckless on the backside of all of this.
And Gam, again, we expect him to scale at Reckless.
Not a good look.
That is not the picture you want to see for Fnatic when it's a team that has struggled with their mentality after the first week going 0-3, feeling like they wouldn't be able to bounce back. But miraculously this week, they pull so much back together. They have come so far. There is no way they can give up now.
And Soaz, look at this, Spirit Visage second. No Frozen Mallet to potentially abuse Archie in a side lane kind of things. All right, we're probably going to be need to team fight soon as Fnatic have to opt into something in this mid game around the major objectives like the Baron or of course the next dragon that's spawning, which is an Infernal. But Gam just going off right now. Caps flushes in, cleanses out of the way, but now that's going to dive a beautiful ult. Nails that one and Optimus grabs it.
And nothing Elise can do there. Suddenly the Shu. We talked about the Shu being on the other foot in terms of draft. Now in terms of tempo in the actual game. Gigabyte Marines reign supreme, and Fnatic can only run in one direction. It's away.
Gigabyte Marines have a lot of initiation tools. They just didn't have the push in the early game. As you said, they had to stall out. Cap still down, also still flashless. Soaz also still in the mid lane. Marines gonna push strong.
Gonna go for this turret and actually are going to get it. Fnatic cannot defend, and now they're just gonna keep going. Gam, gonna try and bust through and in here. such decisive play here from this team. Fnatic can only watch as that part of their base crumbles.
This game accelerated to late game a lot sooner than Fnatic thought it would. They have an early game advantage, but you're hitting the power spikes on No Way's Tristana. You're hitting those points of Maokai being able to find fearless teamfight initiation.
And everything was so clean until it wasn't. It felt like Fnatic were doing exactly what they needed to. Rotating around the map. You hear that shout, they're trying something
Archie again, but he's almost got ult ready. This could be real bad for Fnatic if they don't make it happen. And Levo is going to try and go in. Ultimate! Look at that turret! Doesn't quite have it. He didn't have his ultimate. It's so close, but Reckless caught in the front lines. Dies to Archie. And now Soaz trying to get a kill back here. But again, Napoleon to Archie as he zones out Broxah and Jesus.
Caps is flanking.
Oh, that ultimate barely missed. Archie's still here. Optimus can find a very crucial shockwave at Archie. I think they're just going to leave him away.
And Baron is still up. There's no Reckless to take it, so Fnatic has to be very careful. But they control ward. They know there's no vision. They know Gigabyte Marines is extremely low. And they have double mount.
No Warmorks on Levi either. He did not rush it. Baron's at 2,000.
Optimus can make the play. He's got no help, but they can deliver it. Not going to make it there. It's the Baron. Goes over to Fnatic style. Almost dies, but the shockwave only finds one. So it's takes down Levi as he flashes onto Optimus to finish off that kill. Hyperprox, there's the double for now.
And that's the clutch that Fnatic has had all day long. It goes awry at the start, Reckless falls, but the rest of the team backs up the play. Caps comes in from the side, lands a ton of poke. They get the blow enough, they recognize the state of the game, and they make the aggressive call and convert.
Yeah, the two-man stun was so big from Caps, who had a ward around the blue buff area where No Way was trying to poke in. Both the damage dealers out of the fight, even without Reckless able to power down the Baron. This game has been topsy-turvy on a topsy-turvy day, and now Fnatic find themselves again about 1,500 gold ahead.
Going for this Infernal Drake now, though. Fnatic, so much of an advantage, despite not having a top in here. Gam, though, might try something, but Levi not here to steal. No chance at all.
Yeah, they're definitely best to stay away from that one. And it's been a topsy-turvy game. Fnatic made the clutch play. They have triple Drake right now, 1 Infernal, 2 Mountain. But they're also missing a top lane inhibitor because there was a lot that went wrong before this big turnaround by Fnatic.
This was already after they had gotten some damage in, so they try to rush down the Baron. Syndra famously has enough burst, so does the Elise. The turn away from here, the shockwave is just onto Jesus, and Soaz has no front line to respect, so can barrel into Optimus. It only needs the auto attacks to cement both a double kill and the Baron to Fnatic.
Yeah, but we still know the Gigabyte Marines are willing to pull the trigger at any moment. There is still no flash onto Caps, and there is a flash on Archie's Maokai plus a Righteous Glory. So even though Fnatic has Baron, you cannot be sure that they are going to be the ones dictating the tempo.
Good ward, though, does spot Levi and Seiya trying something around the turret. And again, still pushing through Baron, so it's ready with TP if they need it. But again, they want this outer turret if they can get it, but they have to get it safely.
Always hit a very strong point in terms of damage. Double Zeal item complete. Only armor item on any member of Fnatic is a Brandowins onto Soaz. So target acquisition so important for the Marines. They can power them down.
And Soaz trying to hit some split push power has already gone Mega, so the ability to teleport in and get that Mega Gnar is diminishing by the second. But with Baron minions on one side plus a Sivir and a Syndra, as long as Fnatic's in front of a turret, there's not much Gigabyte Marines can do. Probably fine for Marines if it's actually Fnatic's Baron power play right now, and the fact that they pushed them into defense probably feels pretty good, but it's still a very close game.
Conditional statements is all we have to bring you 8 games into what has been a mad first day of the second week of group stages here at the World Championships 2017. Gigabyte Marines do have the comp. They do have good item timings. The gold lead is nothing to write home about. On paper, you have to love what Gigabyte Marines have, but there can still be a single Braid Fade by one member of the 10 members in this game, and the game could be decided by that.
So as in a side lane, though, something we've heard a lot at critical junctures for him at Worlds, and he is getting stronger on this now. Ignore the 4 deaths for now. His individual play has been amazing all day long.
Zeke's convergence for the second time in one day is some sort of double rainbow situation here at the World Championships. You see that ult pop from the Rakan. We can see big damage also.
In a day 4, and Archie tries to make the play. The ulti not weapon.
Oh no!
him set up! Sayano, still massive set of charms in the backline, but still, TP's in, Magana's down the support, and Fnatic obliterate him.
And the fight isn't clean for Gigabyte Marines. The Orianna ball snapped back due to range, and then Rakan found the God engage, but there was no shockwave to follow. That could have been so huge, but instead, it is now Fnatic with Baron pushing bottom.
Looks like Inhibs could start to break here. Fnatic with a very strong push. Baron just gonna wear off, and looks like Fnatic. One more wave? No, don't even chance that.
Moments like that can decide best of fives, can decide a best of one here to decide who moves forward. And the sombrero, as we call it, when you self-ult yourself when you don't intend to, could be super critical from Optimus because the setup was good.
And the thing is, in this group, all of these teams entered the tiebreaker at 2 and 4 as he jumps into Reckless.
No way with no fear.
Nothing to see here. Moments like that are things that all these teams have experienced because they've all lost 4 times. There have been those incredibly close clutch moments that they have fallen short on, and when they finally land it is potentially when they make the quarterfinals.
Watch the fight here. Ball is leashed onto Archie.
And
Flash,
back.
twisted advance. Honestly, Optimus has the ball on him for longer than you would expect in this scenario. That was just losing the moment. It's many games in a single day, 4th game of the day for him. That is a critical mistake from the mid laner of Gigabyte Marines.
But Fnatic have held strong, rewarded with almost 6,000 gold up worth of Baron power play as they creep themselves up a very strong lead. Still, GAM are in this one, but willing to press the pace are Fnatic. They know how to close out games like this.
Wave clear from the Orianna when the Baron is down as they look at Caps. Remember, Tristana and Rakan cannot get here.
3-5
Clear, but he
Marines.
flashes out. Archie's still there. Levi gets stunned up on the other end, but Archie not very tanky, taking way too much damage. Just trying to buy time maybe for the dual end as Archie finally falls to Reckless, but no way still there.
Yeah, but this was a Marines engage in a 3v5. They have their 80 carry and support over on the side.
There's the dive, stuns one into the wall. Levi, chain stun by the Syndra, barely makes it out alive, but Fnatic still going.
If they lose multiple members, they could just barrel through the mid side, but Caps is recalling first. They will lose bot lane inhibitor.
Optimus out of mana gets taken down by the clock tower.
And look at these death timers, 50 seconds, 28. There is a wave coming up the mid lane if Fnatic really want to get cheeky. It's an inhibitor trade regardless.
And trade is such a big word because next time, if we see any sort of win by Gigabyte Marines, they also have an open inhibitor to attack in the top lane. So closing the game is very possible. Still, 34 minutes into our 8th game.
Oh no, Jesus! Down to no way, caught recalling.
Delayed recall when compared to the rest of the team is now caught, and that is a 42-second death timer, which will overlap with
TP.
Baron by 20 seconds. And now they're going for more. Caps is flashless. They got it last time. They have to pop Banshee's Veil.
Reckless pops ulti defensively, but GAM will take the outer turret. GAM may not be playing a signature comp, but they are playing their signature style. This game is so fast.
Inferno Drake's going to be up in 2 seconds. That's most likely what Gigabyte Marines will do. But that's the only thing I can say with certainty about this team. Who makes that play for Marines where they send 2 bottom to engage 3v5 in hope of a pick? And now, the sneaky Baron.
I mean, this is making another call. They turn onto Infernal. Fnatic
Double
swap lane
mountain.
straight onto Baron. Like you said, they're going to get it so fast.
Yep, it goes down, double mountain, more than enough. And at the same time as GAM get the Infernal, Fnatic grab another Baron.
But now Lulu's still in base. They're going to know this. A missed engage.
By a missed it, quickness popped already, so it's going to hop over the wall to safety, but Levi might find a snipe.
But where's the rest of the team going to approach from? They still have people in the river. It's totally scattered.
And you can see attention from the pings onto the bot side. GAM don't have enough vision to try and get a pick. Fnatic, that was a lazy set of recalls, but they did not get punished.
We're seeing exhaustion, honestly, in this game. We're seeing many more misfires in a row than we've seen scattered across multiple games today. Both these teams trying to power through what has been an insanely long day. We started the matches 8 hours ago, and they are still battling here on the Rift. It is not clean, but it's all about the clutch because we're 35 minutes in.
And Gigabyte Marines won that first game of the day. That is the only game they have won today. Aside from that, they have fallen to Fnatic and Longzhu and stood watching Fnatic versus Immortals because Gigabyte Marines held the tiebreaker thanks to better win timing on their victories over Fnatic and Immortals. So, as you mentioned, an incredibly long day, and everybody is kind of just hoping for for that second lease on life. Both of these teams have made so many mistakes during the group stage. If you would ask even the most hardcore fan, a lot of them would say at some point that their team didn't deserve to make it to the quarterfinals. But this is the world we are living in right now. And whoever wins this does earn it, because battling exhaustion on an 8-hour day, being the best of the three, still counts.
Whatever one side is facing, the other side is facing too. You can never lose sight of that. Everyone here with their hearts in their mouths, waiting for an engage, waiting for a mistake, waiting for an outplay. The next one, any of those three things, probably decides the game.
If GAM can find the engage angle, if they can execute with this team comp, Fnatic may just lose on the spot.
And Reckless is insanely strong right here. When he upgrades his QSS to Mercurial Scimitar, he will be a full build Sivir, as well as having a Lulu, one of the best buffers of an AD carry. They have that inhibitor down in the mid. They're pulling No Way away from it, so it is kind of 180 carry versus 0 in these siege. If he can ever free hit, they would win the game. That's why Gigabyte Marines have to be so precise in their engage.
And you would say, what about the double stone plate? But Ricochet's so good against stone plate because it spreads damage across three members if they're grouped that have no armor. So getting damage onto the back line is a possibility for the Sivir. However, hilariously tanky Maokai and Sejuani are.
Still 1 minute and 30 seconds on this Baron buff. Soaz is doing work in the side lane with his Black Cleaver and Guardian Angel. It is incredibly difficult for Marines to make an initiation. They don't have that much damage without Tristana here.
Well, Levi threatens, but again, GAM know that without a 5v5, it is tough for them to do too much. Baron is wearing off, though, for Fnatic. Only a minute left, and they haven't got too much more. GAM actually protecting their inhibitor turrets, not the tier 2. Soaz did manage to claim that, but only losing one inhib after 2 Barons might be a miracle if GAM can do it.
Yeah, and remember, Fnatic is pushing this lane because that's the lane where they don't have an inhibitor. Yep. Fnatic has also suffered substantial base destruction during this game.
Levi onto Reckless, but Reckless standing strong.
Warmogs regen will come in. Of course, they'll be slower pushing the minions in bot side because they're dealing with the super minions from the side of Gigabyte Marines.
There's an unreal amount of unspent gold as well for both these sides. Fnatic is desperate to make this Baron count, that they have so much gold that they are not spending. GAM closer to their base could tip the scales.
Yeah, 2,000 at least on every carry position and 1,500 on the jungler and support. So that gold lead is actually facetious right now. Gigabyte Marines can fight them item equal for the most part if they find it engaged.
3,100 gold on No Way. Everyone else much, much lower. So in terms of effective gold lead, it's probably only a couple of thousand.
Caps down bot side, but blow for blow against Archie looking good. Reckless does not get caught because GAM have no vision as they transition around their base. And Fnatic, they finally take the turret. They open up another inhib, but they do not take it down. And GAM have now had them respawn. Fnatic, their bot inhib also respawns. We have 2 open inhibs on either side, and once again, we are at an impasse.
And we get to take a deep breath too. 39 minutes 30. Those shopping trips will happen. The objective that will force the final Alamo for one of these teams is still not decided. The battlefield will continue to change as everyone just resets and gets ready for that titanic last fight.
Yeah, and Reckless is 6 items, as is No Way. So both these AD carries very strong. It's about a half item lead for most of Fnatic, the needlessly large rod to the ward slot when you compare the mid laners. The null magic mantle to the ward slot when you compare with Levi. Sometimes vision can actually be incredibly important, but they're just going to brute force go in.
Oh, goodness again, the hula hoop not good there. So it's actually in, almost mega bit of great knock there. Mike hitting away, saying they're taking too much damage. He goes down to Reckless. No Way needs to stay alive in this fight. Broxah chunked by Optimus, but Soaz just going in. He's going to try and back them around. Got an amazing stun. Soaz gets the kill. Archie left out to dry as well, but Reckless is going to be the target. Flashes out and does not die. Jesus, though, could get clearer as No Way. Moves in there, does get the kill. What a chaotic fight.
It's 2v4. Fnatic still has a full house. Citron!
Great stun, No Way. Barely lives as Caps can't finish it up, but Broxah, he's taking it in him down, and Levi flashes out to barely live as well, but Soaz gonna hop after, should go down. Levi, oh my god, he's buying so much time.
And No Way also killed the minion wave in mid. Another extender of the game. If you open up enough space to Sejuani, gets the Warmogs healing, that's gonna buy more time, even if his demise is likely.
No Way getting that minion wave dead in the mid lane is game saving. If he doesn't do that, Fnatic are in the quarterfinals right now.
Now, interestingly, if Levi dies now, he will be dead through Barons. There's a very interesting
And he is
thing here.
dead.
He's going to die. They will not have smite for Baron.
Gonna get chased down, but the jungler has changed.
They
No
will
way,
have
trying to
Smite for
stall
Baron.
the Elder Drake.
But they're gonna get this. They shred this thing. It's a 6-item Trist with Ardent Sensor. They're gonna get Elder.
RTTP. Fnatic
Maybe.
do know what's happening.
Nars here. Sivir's coming. Sivir is running fast.
Ultimate actually trying to bait them in. Reckless, little too far forward, but Saya taking the damage. Oh, they barely
He
get it.
get out.
Soaz does manage to fight. Oh my God! No way! Grits his face up. Still going for it. Soaz. Mega needs to avoid it, but he got the double kill. No way. Still fighting him, but Soaz with the Mega. Caps. Finds the shutdown.
Shockwave.
No.
Missed.
Oh no. Fnatic inching closer as Optimus getting it taken down by the veteran.
Super minions in the mid wave. After that, after the Elder Drake steal, after No Way killing Reckless, it looks like Fnatic will be going to the quarterfinals.
It's not an ace just yet, but Soaz will ensure it will be. Fnatic surging forward.
One of those shockwaves of the 3 that missed hit, and maybe this game goes a different way, but Fnatic made the more reliable plays. It was not clean, but they should end the game here, whatever Levi can
Signar
do.
is pretty strong. He's keeping the minions away, but if he falls, then it's just going to be a cycle of deaths over and over again. This is desperation with super minions coming from the other side.
And not redemption, not
16
enough.
seconds on No Way, but Caps is going to have ultimate when he comes up.
Saya did respawn, he goes in, Charms gets a knockup, but he's just, again, trying to buy time. Fnatic not having any of it, though.
Caps is pretty low. Most likely over. We have to see it,
All
though.
right.
They're very close.
Still going in, again, Saya trying to make
alive.
it, but the Nexus is open, no way, makes his way back in, but he's not gonna do it. Caps finds a clutch play, and Fnatic do the unthinkable and make their way to the quarterfinals. So close, Optimus forced the shockwave, the wave has to go in, and there